The heat from Georgia was thick and restless, clinging to the Johnston home's walls like an unseen storm cloud. Amber Johnston sat stiffly on the edge of the couch in the living room, staring at a crumpled piece of paper in her palm with slightly shaking hands. The handwritten message was a ripped piece of stationery, folded crookedly as if it had been crammed into a coat pocket and then given with trepidation. "I'll be married by the time you read this, Mom and Dad. I adore him. I'm not requesting authorization. Please have faith in my ability to do this. I am aware that you disagree. You don't comprehend, I know that. However, I can no longer live for other people. I must have this. Don't try to stop me, please. I'm secure. I'm content. I'm hoping you'll pardon me someday." Amber's throat became constricted. She was unable to talk. She was unable to shout. Not yet could she even cry. Trent stayed motionless by the window across the room, watching the gravel road outside as though Anna might arrive at any moment and claim that it was all a joke. "Hey guys, it's Sophia. Hope you are well. Please do subscribe, give this video thumbs up." However, she refused, because Anna had been retreating on all levels, spiritually, physically, and emotionally, for months. They had witnessed it. They simply had no idea how far it would spread. It was too late now. Anna had left. Anna Johnston has long been under suspicion. It wasn't easy growing up in front of cameras, but it was sometimes even more difficult growing up in her own house. She had always felt like the odd one out because she was adopted, had a different personality from her siblings, was more independent, and was more talkative. Although she had always loved her family, that love had a cost. 1,000 hopes. She was always assessing if she was being too much or not enough. Marcus was completely different from what her parents would have picked when they first met him at a Macon craft fair. He was tall, much taller than her, and he was older, 29. He didn't use social media, drove an ancient Jeep that coughed when it started, and worked in construction. He didn't watch reality TV, he wasn't on Facebook, and he didn't know who the Johnstons were until Anna told him. She laughed at him. He treated her as though her past, her height, or her show didn't define her. Additionally, for the first time in her adult life, Anna felt as though she was being observed rather than studied. They spent 5 months dating covertly. First, she didn't even tell Liz. She was aware of what would occur as soon as her parents learned. They would be eager to meet him, vet him, examine his past, establish whether he was good enough for her. It was too much for Anna, so she didn't tell anyone about him. But it got more difficult to hide Marcus as the months went by and he became everything to her. He desired to travel with her. He desired to get to know her family. And his expression sank when Anna finally acknowledged that they didn't even know his name. "That's not how love works," he said quietly but firmly one evening. "A life cannot be built on secrets." Anna then had to make a decision. She would pick the life that gave her the most freedom if she couldn't have both. She departed prior to dawn. A little bag for the night. Carefully sandwiched between 2 sweatshirts is a white lace dress. Her driver's license and passport. The message. No one was awakened by her. She didn't text at all. She was picked up at the edge of town by Marcus. He held a sunflower in one hand and a takeout coffee in the other, wearing a suit jacket over a white t-shirt. Without saying anything, she got into the Jeep and gave him a kiss as if her life depended on it. With their hearts racing and the air tinged with anxiety, they crossed the state line into Tennessee. It wasn't glitzy. It wasn't captured on camera. They had to locate a small, independent officiant who consented to meet them in the field behind an old barn because it wasn't even permitted in the county courtroom that day. There was Marcus's sister. Anna's school friend also showed there, promising to remain quiet. It was a 15-minute ceremony. Anna wept the whole time. She wasn't depressed. She felt a sense of relief. "Take this man, Anna Renee Johnston. I do. Take this woman, Marcus Lee Taylor. With all that I possess." Anna sensed a change as they shared a kiss. This was the first time she had ever disobeyed her parents. This was the boldest self-choice she had ever made. However, as she stood there, radiant, married, and afraid, it dawned on her. She hadn't simply fled her house. For more than 10 years, she had fled from everything that had made her who she was. The Johnston household broke down back home. Amber was furious. "Is she married? Are you married? To whom? What is his name? Where is she? Despite Trent's best efforts to maintain composure, his jaw was clenched for hours. Now there is nothing we can do. We are unable to follow her over state lines. Liz was enraged. Did she just leave with a man? She refused to even reveal his name to me. She is behaving like a villain from a reality show. Emma sat in her room and stared at her phone without saying anything. The only one who appeared afraid was Alex. What if she is in danger? What if he is in charge of her? Amber answered the phone. She made a dozen attempts to phone Anna. All calls ended up in voicemail. A fresh heartache followed when Anna blocked them all on social media. It leaked a few days later. 7 Little Johnston's shocker. Anna Johnston leaves her family in the dark after eloping with an unidentified older man. The tabloids jumped on it. The number of fan pages surged. Threads on Reddit became viral. Marcus Lee Taylor is who? Was Anna running away or rebelling? Was this a publicity stunt or a genuine marriage? TLC declined to comment. Amber shared a mysterious story on Instagram. Watching your child make decisions you don't understand can sometimes be the hardest part of parenting. Anna didn't answer in public. However, her quiet grew louder than anything she spoke. Amber was sitting at the kitchen table, gazing at her coffee 3 weeks later. It was too quiet in the kitchen. That week, the cameras weren't in motion. Uncertain of what to do, the team had retreated. The silence was finally broken by Trent. I would like to meet him. Amber blinked. What? I'd like to meet her spouse. I'd like to know who he is if she's serious. Not only what we believe. Amber remained silent. What if he's bad for her? Comes next. Trent gave a headshake. We'll work that out after that. However, I'm done making educated guesses. When Trent finally got through, Anna answered, although it took guts. And there's more. She cracked her voice and said, Dad. He declared, You are still my daughter. However, I must get to know him. Quiet. Then a silent cry. All right. Tension hung over Anna and Marcus as they returned to Georgia. Uncertain whether she would be screamed at or embraced, she entered the room with Marcus's hand in hers. Trent was the first to stand, moved forward, looked directly at Marcus. He declared, I'm not here to attack you. She loves you, which is why I am here. Therefore, I must know what sort of man you are. Marcus held out his hand. I'll try my best to show you then. Amber remained at the rear, gaze steely, arms folded. Avoid shattering her, she urged. Marcus responded simply, I won't. Emma gave Anna a hug first. Liz did not warm up. Alex observed intently. However, action was taken. One brutal step in the right direction. There was no longer any sense of comfort in the Johnston residence. The formerly lively kitchen had become silent as everyone in the family dealt with the emotional fallout from Anna's covert wedding. Nothing had really gotten back to normal, even with Anna and Marcus back in Georgia. Amber didn't say much. Cleaning non-stop, rearranging drawers that weren't in use, and avoiding Marcus like a foul stench, she moved around the house like a woman possessed. When Anna was nearby, Liz used passive-aggressive language and made scathing remarks. The only people who appeared conflicted were Emma and Alex. They missed their sister but weren't sure how to handle the intense tension she had brought home. One night during dinner, Anna had said, I'm still part of this family, her eyes begging for someone to speak it aloud. Trent's look was gloomy, yet he had nodded slowly. We're simply adjusting. Amber, however, was not adapting. Amber was losing her mind. Amber hired a private investigator, something she had vowed never to do. 2 weeks after Anna and Marcus had returned to Georgia, she gave a straightforward explanation. Even if my daughter refuses to defend herself, I must protect her. Trent didn't agree. Parenting isn't like that. That is surveillance. Amber, however, pressed on. She provided the PI with all of her information, including Marcus's complete name, phone number, and the Tennessee city where they were married. She had a file in a matter of days, and she quickly discovered something that chilled her to the bone. The file came in a sinister, sealed envelope. Alone in the laundry room, Amber ripped it open. There was a picture of Marcus when he was younger, shirtless, at a frat party with empty beer cans all around him. A printed PDF from a county court is below it. Marcus Lee Taylor was arrested in 2018 for domestic disturbance, a misdemeanor. No conviction. Following mediation, the case was dismissed. Amber's throat tightened each breath. It wasn't a crime. There was no conviction at all. However, it was something. She raced past the group preparing cameras for a reconciliation shoot, out of the laundry area, and headed directly to Anna's room. Laundry was being folded by Anna. Startled, she raised her head. "Mom!" Amber dropped the file. "You failed to inform us that he had a record." Anna's cheeks turned pale. "What?" Amber's voice broke into rage. "He touched a human being. Anna, he was arrested." Anna's hands were shaking as she opened the file. She looked at it. This was his former partner. She was intoxicated. She gave him the first slap. He turned to leave. A neighbor heard shouting and phoned the police. Amber crossed her arms. "Do you think so?" Anna shook as she looked into her mother's eyes. "Indeed. Yes, I do. Since he informed me. Prior to our marriage." Amber blinked. "You were aware?" Anna nodded, unable to contain her tears. "He told me about it. On our third date, he filled me in on everything. I had been aware for months, and I still decided to wed him." A family gathering was convened that evening. The cameras rolled. Exhausted parents and cross-armed siblings filled the living room. Amber's voice trembled as she announced the arrest. Liz opened her mouth wide. Alex appeared in disbelief. Emma placed her hand on her chest. "Is he aggressive?" Emma asked quietly. "No," Anna firmly stated. "He isn't. He is composed. He's nice. He is the most understanding person I have ever dated." In an attempt to quiet the crowd, Trent spoke up. "We must stop assaulting her. She is an adult woman." Liz, however, retaliated. "She misled us. We were halted by her. Without telling us, she wed a man with a history." Anna got up. "Because I anticipated this. You don't believe that I can manage my own life. You never did." Her voice cracked. "You act as though I'm the troublemaker. As if I'm careless, self-centered, and unappreciative. However, I may have departed because I no longer wanted to be regarded as someone you were ashamed of." There was silence. At last, Amber replied softly, "We don't feel embarrassed by you." However, it was too late. Anna was already crying as she left the room. When they returned to their tiny flat, Anna sobbed onto Marcus's chest. She cried, "They will never forgive me. No matter how much time has gone by, they will always remember you as the guy who nearly hit someone." Marcus gave her a gentle forehead kiss. "Then we disprove them. Not in words. With time." However, the pressure was increasing. The tabloids were aware of Marcus's history. Regarding editing choices, TLC producers discuss whether Marcus should be removed from the program. Should Anna's plot revolve around rebuilding or redemption? And there was disagreement among the fans. Anna was backed by some. Online, she was attacked by others. They referred to her as delusional, disobedient, seeks attention. The sound grew intolerable. Weeks went by. Then Trent called out of the blue. He said, "Your mom wants to come over. To converse. Don't shout. No cameras." Anna paused. "Are you certain? She got your SMS message. How he told you everything, that is. She's not all right. However, she is contemplating." Anna concurred. Amber and Trent showed up that evening without a script, crew, or microphones. Amber fixed Marcus with her gaze. "I won't act as though everything is fine with me, but I can tell she has a lot of faith in you. I'm not asking in my capacity as a producer, not on TV as a mother. Like her mother. Keep her intact." Marcus gave a nod. "I refuse to." Amber then turned to face Anna. Her voice broke. "I apologize for not having faith in you. I felt afraid. However, I'm learning." Anna didn't weep. She merely gave a nod. "I've only ever wanted that." After a while, the cameras came back, but with new restrictions. Marcus would show up, but only on Anna's conditions. No humiliation of the past. No gotcha alterations. TLC grudgingly agreed. After a while, Liz apologized. Emma became softer. Fixing Marcus's car helped Alex and Marcus become friends. The Johnstons were not a whole family. However, it was therapeutic. Additionally, Anna didn't feel like a supporting character in her family's story for the first time in years. She thought of herself as the author. It started with a grainy picture. Anna Johnston and Marcus were seen leaving a Macon pharmacy by a fan. Marcus was holding a brown paper bag that might have been anything, but social media took control. Anna's sweatshirt was too big. Is Anna expecting? Why else would they spend the middle of the day together at CVS? Under that hoodie, she is concealing something. The internet was in a frenzy within a day. The image was uploaded by Instagram accounts with red-circled bump theories, analyzing Anna's tummy form like it was a national secret. Reddit threads analyzed her most recent footage. 2 days later, she received a call from TLC producers. "We'd love to support you through it on the show if there's something major going on," one added in a sweet, fake concerned voice. Anna ended the call. She wasn't expecting a child. However, the harm had already been done. Anna was sitting by herself in her apartment, knees tucked to her chest, on the floor of the bathroom. She gazed at the negative test result. Once more. She had done this 3 times in that month. She hadn't even mentioned her attempt to Marcus. Anna wanted something of her own, something enduring and unbreakable. After feeling cut off from her family for months. A kid. A future. A reason to feel like you belong somewhere entirely and totally. Her body, however, was not complying. The world was now fabricating a pregnancy that she wished was genuine. Marcus fell to the ground next to her as he discovered her sobbing. "What kept you from telling me?" Anna cried. "Because I didn't want you to inform me that you weren't prepared." He squeezed her closer. "That is not what I would have said. Yes, I am afraid, but not of fatherhood. I fear that you will be lost in all of this. In order to portray her as cold and critical, TLC spliced in B-roll reactions and chopped out any sentences in which she offered support during her most recent on-camera visit with Anna. Supporters turned against her. Hatred filled her direct messages. "I'm finished," Amber declared. "This will never happen again. Not to me. Not to her." However, it was already getting worse. The episode's leak summary for next week hinted at the Johnston family is rocked by a possible pregnancy, and dark secrets from Marcus's past surface, forcing Amber and Trent to deal with their daughter's hurried marriage. Across the room, Amber tossed her phone. They were creating a scandal out of Anna's life. Anna got a message from a secret Facebook account 3 days later. Kaylee D. Wheeler was the name that broke her heart. Marcus's former partner. "I know him, but you don't know me. He mentioned 2018 to you, correct? That's not all there is to it." Anna's fingers paused over the keyboard as she hesitated. She selected the profile. Dozens of posts that are angry. A link to a blog. The real Marcus Taylor. A survivor's warning is one of them. "He is endearing, but when he drinks he can be dangerous. He will deceive you into believing that you are the one who is insane. Don't put off getting out until you're too deep." Anna closed her laptop with a thud, but she was plagued by the words. That night, Anna stood up to Marcus, her hands shaking as she held out her phone. "What prevented you from informing me about Kaylee's blog?" Regarding all of this, Marcus sat for a long time in silence. After the charges were dropped, she created that blog. Not until 2 years ago was it even up. "I moved on," which infuriated her. "That I didn't return." But is any of that accurate? Marcus appeared to be in pain. "I regret what I said. I had too much to drink. I shouted. However, I never did harm to her. And it's been more than 2 years since I've touched a drink." Anna gazed at him. "I require time." Marcus gave a nod. "Then accept it. But know that my entire goal in life has been to love you more than I loved anyone else." She kept her arrival a secret from everyone. She arrived at her parents' house without any cameras, a crew, or a plan. The door was opened by Amber. Anna fell into her embrace. "I no longer know what is real." Amber embraced her daughter. "Then let's all find out." With Trent's encouragement, Marcus visited the Johnston residence a week later. He was seated across from Trent and Amber. Anna folded her hands and sat between them. "I'd rather not question you," Amber stated. "But we need honesty if you want to be a part of this family." Marcus then related his tale. Everything. The drinking. The altercations. The treatment. He had written Kaylee an apology, but he never sent it. He vowed never to be that man ever again. And there was quiet after he finished. At last Trent said something. "You're not flawless." "We're not." However, you won't simply lose her if you lie to her about anything else in the future. We will all be lost to you." With tears in his eyes, Marcus nodded. Comprehensive. TLC retreated for the time being. If they didn't follow boundaries, Amber threatened to leave the filming location. Anna stopped using social media. Marcus took a local anger management class and began working part-time as a welder because he wanted to improve, not because he had to prove anything to anyone. Weeks after the storm, Anna took another test one calm evening. She looked over the results for a long time this time. 2 lines of pink. She refrained from crying. She grinned. Let us know in the comments. And stay tuned by subscribe to our channel to get more updates like this. Thank you. Bye guys.